We are about 3 weeks away from the NFL season, and I wanted to go over some of the narratives that I'm really excited for and that I really want to follow this next season. Every single season is filled with storylines, unexpected news, and just headlines all across the board, but these are the ones that I think I'll pay attention to as we have an off-season point of view. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Number one, possibly the biggest storyline of the offseason and probably heading into the NFL season is Myles Garrett coming to the Rams and possibly the return of Aaron Donald. Myles Garrett already joining the Rams makes them arguably the best defensive line in the league, and Myles Garrett being traded as the best player in his prime after coming off a record-breaking Defensive Player of the Year season is already massive groundbreaking news in itself, and I think Myles Garrett will have an immediate, instant impact on the Rams as they hope to be Super Bowl contenders. However, if the potential return of Aaron Donald is true and he does return into the next couple of days, next couple of weeks onto the Rams, I think they could form one of the greatest defensive lines of all time, as we don't know how good Aaron Donald will be, but I think he'll be, at least 60 to 80% of his normal self, and combine that with prime Myles Garrett, and you have arguably the greatest defensive line we've ever seen, not even mentioning their other pieces around them. But I think this is going to be something very interesting to follow, especially in the next couple of weeks before the season starts. If Aaron Donald does come back, me personally, I do think he'll come back. I think he'll sign as a very, very late signing, probably early September. But yeah, this is going to be a storyline that I will be following, especially if this happens into the season, and see how Aaron Donald looks and how the team plays. But this is easily one of the biggest storylines, possibly in a couple of years. And Aaron Donald could help form one of the greatest Rams teams and one of the greatest teams of all time. And lastly, it could be a storybook ending with Donald in his, for sure, last year playing in the Super Bowl in LA and maybe winning a ring. But that is easily one of the best storylines this next season. Another massive storyline is Mahomes coming back from injury. He didn't look too good in the past 2 years, especially after winning his ring with the 49ers. But Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen, has one of the best peaks of all time from any NFL player. And now the questions are really surrounding his career heading into the season. The past 2 years, he hasn't been great. He's been good, but not great. He has been elite. And now he is coming off his worst injury yet. The Chiefs have kind of stacked their team, kind of redeveloped their team to fit around him in a new timeline. The question is, how will Mahomes look after his injury? I know everyone will have their eyes on the Chiefs heading into week one, but I think even now, with Mahomes coming back later on to the season, whenever he comes back, everyone will be watching that game to see how good and how well Mahomes can bounce back. I believe that he can, but there's obviously room for skepticism coming off an injury, and he's entering his 30s. But then again, this is Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Now there's just a lot of questions to be answered, and I think we'll get our answer whether he'll continue to be one of the best quarterbacks of all time or maybe plateau and fall off a lot quicker than we think. So this is a storyline to pay attention to this next season. Another one is this Browns quarterback battle that was just announced. Deshaun Watson is the starting quarterback, and I have real questions about this, because why is that? I don't really like Shedeur Sanders as a player. I don't think he's, that good, but he is the youngest and he's the best option for the Browns if they want to, give him some shine. And I gotta talk about the amount of tension and awkwardness and controversy in that quarterback room. Shedeur Sanders already is a massively public figure for a 5th round pick. Now imagine Deshaun Watson starting over him in this already dysfunctional franchise. This is not a good look for the Browns, and I wouldn't be surprised if Watson gets benched in the first couple of weeks. But at face value, this is a terrible move, and I think this will just cause a lot of drama for the Browns heading into the season. We have a lot of players coming back from injury, and it'll be very interesting to see how they shape the league. A lot of players got down with some crazy serious season-ending injuries last year. And we have these every year, but it feels different this year. We have Micah Parsons coming back. We have Malik Neighbors coming back. We have Patrick Mahomes, as we talked on before. We have Tucker Kraft, Travis Hunter, George Kittle, and many, many more star-level players that will shape the rest of the league. One of these players could come back from injury and completely reshape how we view this NFL season. I'm very excited to see how these players can bounce back, or maybe not bounce back and, plateau. But I really, really am interested to see how these players will come back amongst other names and hopefully make their mark on the NFL once again. I think something that needs to be talked about is the parity in the league. Usually, when having a conversation about who's going to win the Super Bowl, it is kind of a cop-out answer to have that as a storyline. But truly, last year we saw the peak of parity we've seen in the NFL for some time. we didn't know who was going to the Super Bowl even in like the last couple of weeks of the season. Usually by that time we have a favorite, but it was really towards maybe the conference championship games that we really had a pick in the Seahawks. But I think this season is going to be even more chaotic in terms of parity. We have so many great teams on the NFC and the AFC. We have so many X factors from each division, each team, each conference. We have so many players going up and going down. And there is parity a lot in the NFL, but I think last season showed that there is so much variety, so much growth for parity this season as well. And it truly is anybody's year. Even though the Rams might be the favorites, I still believe that there are other teams out there that can make a really good fighting chance to win the Super Bowl. And they're all equal right now before the season starts, maybe except for the bottom feeders. But the parity in the NFL is an all-time high, and just witnessing this as a fan is going to be incredible to watch. Lastly, is it cheap saying to follow the number 1 overall pick is going to be interesting? Maybe, but it's Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza is one of the most polarizing first overall picks in quite some time, not because he's a bad person or he's not a good player, but the fact that he led his team Indiana to the national championship and winning that game in such great fashion, and he kind of came out of nowhere. People are seeing, is it like a Joe Burrow situation? Is he going to be a flop? I think my question is, can he be the best Raiders quarterback since Derek Carr and possibly be better? He's stepping into one of the situations and first overall pick quarterback has ever had. And I think he has the right mindset, he has the right coaching around him, he has the right weapons around him, and I think he could really succeed. But obviously, there are questions from a rookie quarterback. I think something I am very interested to see, and we are seeing now into this preseason, is his media responses are always encouraging, positive, and sometimes funny. So I'm really excited for Mendoza's career, and I'm really excited to see how well he can help elevate this Raiders team and how well he can translate from Indiana to the NFL. These were only some of the many storylines that I'm very excited for this next NFL season. I'll probably make a part 2 before the season starts, explain some other storylines, but make sure to comment down below what your favorite storyline is and your thoughts on the storylines I presented. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe.